All right, I'm here now live with Hasim Rahman Jr., and we're going to be talking about his upcoming fight with Jake Paul, August 6th. Now, Hasim, when I think of sparring, I look at it as practice. You know, when fighters get in there and they're working together, they're not trying to really hurt each other. And I'm assuming that you went to camp not with the intention of hurting Jake Paul, but helping him. Do you think that he's looking at this sparring and trying to give himself a false sense of confidence, false sense of security? Because I suspect strongly that the Hasim Rahman that was in camp with him is not going to be the same Hasim Rahman that's going to be in that fight on August 6th.
I mean, that's absolutely correct. Um, you know, nobody's asked me not to hurt him come August 6th like they were before we sparred. They asked me not to hurt this kid. They telling me, he's a YouTuber, he doesn't have.
Oh, you're back. You're back. I
I'm
got you.
sorry about that. I'm sorry
That's
about
okay.
that. They're asking me, not to hurt this kid, not to go, too much. Just give it 40, 50%. And is their words. When you talk about sparring, like you said, it's practice. But to Jake Paul, he doesn't have any amateur fights. He doesn't have any amateur experience. So those sparring sessions are like real fights to him. That's how he treats it. So I'm gonna show him the difference between a sparring session and a real boxing match.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you even go southpaw in those sessions, or did you go orthodox for him?
So they asked me not to go southpaw. So what I did was I boxed orthodox the entire time, and I didn't. I may have thrown like a right hand or two just to throw it out there, just to keep him honest. But I wasn't really using my right hand, and I believe out of the 5 rounds we sparred, for the last 30 seconds, I switched southpaw, and that was
Okay.
it. And I don't even think I threw anything. I think I just did it for the last 30 seconds because it was the last 30 seconds, and that was pretty much it. Like I was handicapped, and come August 6th, there will be absolutely no limitations on what I can do. I'm gonna hit this boy as hard as I can, and uh, uh, I'm gonna put my best foot forward, and I believe that my best is better than his best. So we're gonna go to war.
Now, can you clear up this whole weight rehydration clause? Because I'm hearing it's 10 pounds. Now I'm hearing you can weigh 215 the morning of the fight. Break
I
this
was
down for me, if
I
you
was
could.
talking about it. I was talking about it earlier, and they put a gag order on me and said I can't
Oh, you
discuss
can't
it.
even talk about it.
I
Okay.
can't talk about it no more. But that can answer a lot of people's question that I was talking about it earlier, and then they asked me to stop talking about it. So
I got you. I
why
got you.
would they ask me to stop talking about it if it was no problem?
So let me ask you this, because obviously you're going to have to drop some significant weight in a short period of time. Have you hired a nutritionist for this camp? Are you doing anything different, anything special to get down to that 200 pounds?
Yes, my nutritionist Paulina has worked with the top athletes in boxing and in UFC, and she's got me feeling great, looking great, full of energy. I just finished the workout. I'm ready to go bang out my next one. I got a meal in between. This is something where most people would think I would have had to starve myself, but before I even signed the contract, I told them if I have to starve myself, I'm not going to do this. So, because I know what happens when people do that. It's detrimental to their health. And anything that would have been detrimental to my health, I wouldn't have did it. So I got a team, and we hired a nutritionist. We brought them in the camp. So by bringing them in, it really afforded me the opportunity to get used to eating and training and being able to bring down the weight gradually. And right now, we're ahead of track to make this weight.
So how long is this camp going to actually be? How many weeks are you going to be able to put in for this camp?
It's a 4 week camp, but the last week being in New York, it don't really count. So pretty much like 3 weeks of work and then 1 week of just trimming down. The last week will just be just the last few pounds. But when I get to New York, I'll be within striking distance to make the weight within a day.
Have you been having any problems getting sparring partners in for the camp because it's such short notice? Has it been?
No, we already had all that figured out before we even took the fight. We knew exactly who we could use, and we knew exactly how we could use them. So we were very prepared for this fight.
Are you working with smaller guys, bigger guys, or just a mix of both? Are there any specific
I'm
types of sparring partners?
working with cruiserweights, faster cruiserweights that are faster than me, and cruiserweights that some of them have experience, some of them are green and they throw their punches in an unorthodox way, so that we can prepare for all of that. And they all want me to beat Jake Paul, so they all pushing me.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, because your father mentioned the Rahman legacy. Do you feel that there's more on the line for you in this fight than there is for him? Because he can go back to being the YouTube influencer, but you have to carry that name of your father, the former heavyweight champion of the world who knocked out Lennox Lewis. Is there more on the line for you in this fight than him, in your opinion?
I just look at it as an opportunity, man. This is my opportunity. Um, my whole life growing up, people recognize my dad for knocking out Lennox Lewis. So now my kids will be able to say, "Oh, my dad knocked out Jake Paul." That's my end mission. If I don't knock him out, I'll beat him. I'm just gonna beat this guy up. He's not on my level. If I met him in the alley, he wouldn't do nothing with me. If we got locked in a prison cell, he definitely wouldn't do nothing with me. So when they put us in that boxing ring, he's not gonna do nothing with me. He's been trying to have things kind of slay his way or go his way. The only things that are gonna go his way are the things that were in the contract. That's it. Other than that, after I sign that contract, nothing else goes his way. It's my show.
Gotcha. Now, you were in camp, I think, with Logan too. Is that correct, or am I wrong there?
No,
Did you
I
work?
never was in camp.
Never were in camp with Logan.
No.
Now, it's been reported that Logan told him not to take this fight, and even at the press conference when you guys were facing off, he was real close by in the background. He had kind of a nervous look on his face. Did you have any interaction with Logan at this press conference at all? Did he say anything to you? Did you exchange words with him at all?
Not really. He just said, "What's up?" That's all. And, he said, "Good luck." But I don't believe in luck. I believe in work.
Gotcha. Now, the whole thing about him buying you the Instagram followers, did he tell you he was going to do that beforehand, or did he just do it?
I wouldn't have agreed to it, but I know how he get down, and I know that he's doing this for the audience of people who care about that, people who care about how many followers the person you're fighting has. I don't care about that stuff. A million people could follow me. That don't mean I could fight. I don't think that the followers have anything to do with it, but that's his audience, that's his realm of fighting. I come from something completely different. Followers don't mean anything to me. I mean, I love the support, I appreciate it. Thank you, Jake. But it definitely doesn't mean you can fight or you can't fight based on your followers. Mackenzie Morrison has 2,000 followers right now, and he just beat me in a fight. So it clearly doesn't matter.
Now, speaking of Mackenzie Morrison, I think your dad kind of alluded to it, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. He said that you haven't really shown the best of yourself up to this point in your career. Was that Morrison fight kind of like a wake-up call for you? Did that add some more fire to the belly a little bit and make you realize that, you can't be complacent in this game?
Absolutely. You can't take anybody lightly. And not to say that I completely took Mackenzie Morrison lightly, because I didn't. I trained hard. But I didn't train I'm not going to say I didn't train to the best of my ability. I didn't prepare to the best of my ability, because preparation and training are two completely different things. You can train as hard as you want, but if you don't prepare, if you don't have the right nutrients in you, if you're not on the right diet, if you're not running correctly, then you're gonna fall short. And that's what happened. I didn't prepare correctly for a Mackenzie Morrison type of fight, and that was based on me not doing my due diligence in training camp. So now right after that fight, when I was in the locker room for that fight, my dad told me that Allah takes nothing away from you without giving you equal or greater. So don't ever forget that. Don't be down. Don't be upset. You're gonna get equal or greater from this. So here go my equal or greater right here.
Now you were up in the cards. Did you kind of feel that the fight was easy, and you were kind of coasting up until that point? Is that why you felt that maybe you
I
could?
felt like I felt like he caught me right at the perfect time, man. He caught me as I was going into my second win. I think that if I been allowed to continue, I think that I would have boxed him for the rest of the fight, and I think that I would have won, if not by stoppage, by unanimous decision, even with the knockdown. If you watch the fight in the fourth round, I got hit with the right hand in my neck, kind of went back the same way it did in the fifth round, but after I got hit with that shot, I continued to dominate the rest of the round, and I finished strong. So I believe that it's in me to have been able to do the same thing. When you get hit with a good shot, you want to come back and hit somebody else with a good shot. So that was what was on my mind. The referee told us explicitly in the locker room before the fight that he would not stop the fight. He would not just jump in and stop the fight. He would say the words, "Show me something. Show me something," and then he would stop it. That wasn't the case. He just jumped in and stopped it. So that's why I was so upset. But it is what it is. It's behind me, and it afforded me the opportunity to be here on this big stage now. Now I'm on the biggest stage of my career, and I definitely am very, very proud to put my name up here and my family's name up here and to represent all the Muslims in the world.
Do you think if you won that fight, you would have got the call for this fight?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's no way.
So how have you been dealing with all of this extra press? I'm sure you're not used to getting all this press. How's it been? How are you dealing with it? How do you feel about it all?
I have a great publicist team, the best publicist in the game, in Alvina, and she's made it very easy for me to do this stuff, and coordinated with my training. So shout out to More Media, because without them it would have been a headache, but it's been very easy just to breeze through it. It hasn't affected my training, so we've been getting it in. It's been a good experience.
Now, is this fight going to be 8 rounds?
Yeah, it's an 8-round fight.
Now, would you have liked it to be 10 rounds? You think that would have been to your advantage, or?
I think that if this fight was 6, 8, 10, 12, or 15, we're gonna get the same result.
Okay. Now, do you feel that he's going to come out aggressive against you? Do you think this is going to be more of a boxing match per se, technical fight, or do you envision this being like a war? Are you going to try to make this a war? Are you going to try to impose your size, your will, and your strength on him because you are the bigger guy in there?
If I'll tell you one thing, he comes out aggressive, this is gonna be an early night. I think his game plan is to rely on my cardio depleting. If he comes in and tries to push the pace, or he tries to start aggressive, he's gonna make a mistake and he's gonna have to pay.
Gotcha. Now, let me ask you, were you offended when he kind of went at your father a little bit in that press conference because your father was speaking, he interrupted your dad? I felt as though he's being a little disrespectful. Did that kind of go ahead?
I knew I would get him back, and I got him back later on in the press conference, and I started to interrupt him. He didn't like it, so I just, with him, everything is just it's all fake. It's all fake to him. So I just knew that I was gonna get him back, so I got him back. So you want to interrupt my father? All right, I'm gonna interrupt you, but I'm not gonna do it right away. I'm gonna do it on my time. So I got him back for that, and he want to be disrespectful and all this stuff. It's gonna be nothing he can do on August 6th to stop me from beating his brains in. I'm gonna punish this boy.
Okay. I'm gonna try to ask this one. I don't know if you can answer this question, but you talked about how you're the lowest paid opponent of his, right? Can you reveal what you're making for this fight, or are you going to keep that private?
That trying to breed jealousy. So I ain't gonna reveal what I'm making. I'm making the biggest amount that I've ever made, but never let them know how much dough you hold, man. That's you can't do that. That's not what I'm here to do.
I got you.
Um, if it's released, then it's released. But I'm not getting what his other opponents got by a landslide. If you double my purse, I still wouldn't be getting what his other opponents got. But it is what it is. Once this is over and I make a show on August 6th, then that's what I did this for. I did this for the next one. I ain't do it for this one.
Now, he tweeted out today that he's carrying this promotion on his back. What is your response to that? Because you seem to have held your own in that press conference. What is your response to that tweet?
If I wasn't getting 0% of the pay-per-view, then he wouldn't have to hold it by himself. Why are you complaining when you're getting 100% of the pay-per-view?
Oh, you're not even getting a cut of the pay-per-view at all.
Nothing.
So you just got a flat rate.
Yeah. So why is he complaining that he has to sell it if he's getting all of you're getting 100% of the pay-per-view? Why are you crying? If you wanted me to help you sell the fight, you should have gave me some of the pay-per-view like you did all your other opponents.
Now, how much do you anticipate weighing on the night of the fight? What do you feel as though you're going to rehydrate up to?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm gonna weigh, but I know I'm gonna be comfortable. I'm gonna be hydrated. I'm gonna feel good, and I know this because I'm already ahead of schedule to make weight. So if I stay on the pace I'm on now, we'd be like 96, 95, 195, 196. If I stayed on the pace that I'm at now, so I just feel like making 200 pounds, they made a big mistake in choosing me. So because I'm gonna make the weight easy, and then I'm gonna put back on weight, and I'm gonna step in the ring, and I'm gonna be a beast. He's gonna be in trouble because the only person that can take me off him is the referee.
Yeah. Now, the whole thing about the bet and you not wanting to bet him, was that just you letting him know that, hey, you're not in charge of this? I'm not going to do something just because you asked me to do it. Did you kind of make that stance where you're going to kind of take the play away from him and let him know that it's not the Jake Paul show, that, you're part of this promotion too, and you're not just going to play along with the
Jake
role?
Paul, he likes to play. I'm sorry, Jacob. No. Jacob likes to play mind games, and I'm not here to entertain Jacob or any of his antics. I'm here to punch him in his face, punch him in his body, and separate him from his consciousness. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm gonna do.
Now, I think I heard some talk that you may even consider fighting at Bridgerweight. Is that something that you thought about after this fight, going after that Bridgerweight title?
Absolutely, that's my goal. I will be having my eyes on the Oscar Rivas fight, who they fight the next Saturday after me and Jacob. So yeah, the Bridgerweight title is definitely something that I have my eyes on. So hopefully this catapults me into that fight.
Now, do you think Jake Paul is good for boxing? All the attention, regardless of the show that he puts on and maybe the facade you think he's putting on. Do you think that because he's bringing so much attention to the sport, do you think there's a place for Jake Paul in boxing?
Of course. Jacob's place in boxing on August 6th is going to be on that canvas. But I definitely think that, him bringing a lot of eyes to the sport and him bringing a lot of people that generally wouldn't be boxing fans is a great thing. I think that, he's definitely a good thing for the sport, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Okay. Do you think he retires after this fight if he loses, or do you think he continues on? Or not only that, is there a rematch clause in this fight?
There is no rematch clause, but I don't know what he's going to do after this fight. I don't even care what he does after this fight. I do know one thing. I highly doubt he's going to want to ever get in the ring with me again after I do what I do to him on August 6th.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for the time, Hasim. I appreciate it. I want to wish you the best of luck August 6th. And there's a lot of people in the chat that are pulling for you. They want you to knock them out.
Thank you. For all the Muslims out there in the world, Takbir, thank you. I'm going in. I'm gonna put my best foot forward. Y'all don't gotta worry about nothing. Sit back, relax, and watch me beat the brakes off this boy.
All right, man. Thank you so much, man. Have a great day, man.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe.